Alright, well here's my project for the weekend. We'll see if it lasts a weekend or more. I neglected to paint the trim on this door, go into our garage, and now I'm paying for it. Yeah, it's deteriorated to the point where this floor jamb is removable. Huh. Okay, I'm gonna start taking stuff apart. So I have no idea what I'm doing. I just know that this is extremely corroded, and maybe the stuff up here could be salvaged, but I'm thinking while I'm doing this I'm going to replace it not with wood but with the the polyester, not polyester, the stuff you make fences out of that are not wood. I'll have to look that up, I guess. Now as I'm doing this, I'm not sure which is moving, the trim or the door frame. It kind of looks like the door frame. I'm a little bit worried about how rotten the stuff underneath is. We will see. This might be a how not to do it video. Yeah, that is moving a lot. I don't know if that's normal or not, but I'm gonna hang up a little bit while I get some more done here. Well, that was easy. Started using the hammer to pry it off, but turns out there's some type of tongue and groove connection between these longer pieces of trim, and it came off nicely there. So I am now reconsidering. I'm not going to replace that because I think it's okay. I just need to paint it and maintain the paint on a little more. But now I can see underneath, and it's decent. Not sure. It kind of looks like to me like it's okay, except for the trim or for the door part. And I can see here there's another tongue and groove thing, so I'm gonna try and salvage stuff below that. We'll see. Well, a similar deal happened on the left side. I found that this portion is not very sturdy, so I couldn't use it as leverage, but I was able to just kind of put the hammer in and pull, jerk on it a little bit, and it came off. This trim piece came fairly easy. And again, there was that tongue and groove connection there. And I think I'm just gonna preserve that stuff. I don't see really any reason not to, unless I can't replace something below it that looks reasonably close. So we'll see. For the lower portion here, I think I'm going to use that tongue and groove there and try and remove the stuff below it. The spiders aren't happy with me. So it's been a little bit hard to get this piece off of this piece, technically speaking. You can see there's an adhesive, right here that is sandwiched between them, holding it together. So I think it's just a matter of working harder. What could possibly go wrong, right? Maybe we'll find out. All right, well I don't think that idea is going to work. So I am going to instead, I'm going to just use my angle grinder and cut off, this white piece and this guy below a certain spot, and then replace that is my plan. To do that, I want to take the trim off on the inside here so I can reuse it, and maybe I'll paint it here too. It was easy enough to get the trim piece off. Used a little smaller screwdriver so it'd maybe preserve it more. Let's scratch it up less, I guess. I don't know. All right, well, as you can see, I got my angle grinder. I got a cutting style blade. I got eye protection on, the guards on. These things are kind of scary. So I've got this out away from the wall a little bit, give me some margin. And I've marked where I want it to cut, which, okay. Totally professional here. There you go, Jimmy rig. Let's see what happens, huh? I marked a level line here too, so what could possibly go wrong? Getting there. All right, I'm gonna use a manual saw for the rest of it. Well, after that masterful filming, I guess I'll just show you what I cut there. Blah blah. Now I'm gonna finish it off manually. Glad you guys got such a good view of that. Well, that's actually starting to look like something. Yeah, doesn't look too bad down there to me. I think I can just clean it up, and I don't know if I should put anything on it other than just cleaning it, but that turned out pretty good. I'll just clean up that little bit of stuff right there and see if I can find something to put back in there. And I gotta take the door off and do the other side too. All right, next up, I took the door off. Bloop. And I am going to pull that weather stripping back, and then I'm going to cut probably somewhere up around here. I think that's probably good enough. Looking at the wood, it seems like it's okay as long as I paint it and I don't neglect it in the future. All right, time for more cutting. Maybe I'll videotape it this time. All right, here we go. Gonna cut the other side. Safety glasses. Mark. Old man chair. probably pretty hot. You may notice this is the wrong type of saw. Ta-da! Easy, huh? What are we gonna do, kiddo? You like to watch stuff that spins?
Wow.
Let's do it again.
Nice slobber. You want more?
More.
Okay, again, please.
Okay.
Take another splash.
Well, I went to the big box store. They have the trim. It has the weather stripping that I may or may not use because I already have some space here that happens to align with the thickness of the sill that you can buy, which is pretty nice. And now I'm just going to cut the sill to fit the right length that I need. And it wasn't just the absolute thickness or the width of the door, because you got to count for the trim that comes down. I don't know if that's the jamb or whatever, but anyway, I used the old sill as my template, and I'm going to use my speed square to try and make it straight. We'll see how it goes. Well, I spent about 10 grueling minutes with my little hacksaw trying to get through it, and it was ridiculous. So, probably need a new blade. I don't want to go to the hard big box store again for another year or two. Gonna use the power tool. See how it goes. Well, that worked out pretty nice. Power tools are awesome. Well, seems like it's good. Now, you know, the length of that sill plate, I'm assuming is good because it's the same as the last one. And now I just need to measure how long, you know, this new door jamb, I guess it is, needs to be to fit where I cut the old stuff out. So I've just kind of lined up how it's going to go here. And then I'm going to use my speed square here to make sure that's nice and flush and straight. And then I'm going to cut it. All right, I think I've got it in there pretty good. Can fill that pretty easy. That's fitting just like we want it to. As little space as we can get there. And now I'm going to measure the other side. Cut that guy to fit. All right, well, I don't know if you can see this because the lighting's kind of horrible, but I got it all cut, and I think it's just about right. You can see the left side going down. That guy looks good to me. Come over here, and I see that guy over here. Looks good to me. So next, I am going to paint the pieces of wood that are on the bottom, and just make sure that they're so they're somewhat protected. And then it's all about using the finish nailer, I think, to attach the stuff and, you know, attach the bottom, the sill plate, which I'm going to just use an adhesive. So anyway, there we go. All right, so now I do have everything ready to go as far as cut and measured, and I need to, you know, fasten it in place. But before I do that, I am going to paint the stuff that is kind of towards the bottom and maybe exposed to moisture at some point. It's obviously not a cosmetic paint. I don't really care what color. I have some paint left over from something, and we'll see how it goes. Well, it only took me maybe a half hour because I'm a slow painter. Get all those painted. I got underneath and on the sides here. Maybe that'll help if we ever get more water in there. All right, well, the next thing I'm looking at is when I attach the jamb on the left side, it's got to line up with the hinge on the door, and on the right side, you know, we need to be able to close the door, have it latch, and lock it. So there's a chance we might need to shim some stuff to make it line up. And so now I'm trying to decide what to do there. I haven't attached this adjusted the height. I didn't really need to do much adjusting. It was kind of just a low height. But before I get anything on here permanently, I'm trying to figure out exactly what I need to do. And all right, so what I've decided to do, I'm going to secure the door jamb where the hinge of the door is, so it's good to go. And then after I have the door on, I will adjust the other side as needed, maybe with a shim or something if necessary. If anything, it appears it will be too wide of an opening. I'm also going to use silicone to seal the concrete underneath the jamb. That was not done originally, and yeah, seems reasonable. All right, I made a couple practice shots with the finish nailer. It was good. I attached that guy. Seems good. I haven't attached the sill yet, or this other side. Just kind of lining it up and seeing how it's going to look. So the next thing, I'm going to do some silicone in where these connect, and then I'm going to put some adhesive on the just below part of the sill. See how it goes. Ta-da! When you're done, it should look something like this. You can see I still need to caulk that gap, and it's a bigger gap than I'd like, but that's what happens. See what it looks like from the inside. Got the trim back on. Yeah, what those other videos don't bother to tell you is that if you're cutting out one of the hinges on your door, good luck getting everything square and shimmed up just right. I punted. My brother has some words of wisdom, and so I listened and just bought a door with a frame, or excuse me, with a jamb already built onto it. And yeah, it cost me $200, plus a little bit for caulking and stuff. But it's going to be a better solution. It's going to last longer. Well, I hope it lasts longer. I'm sure it will. And about 10 cans of caulk on both sides, more or less. I will revisit that when it's a little drier. Maybe touch it up a little bit. Might have to take care of this. I'm sure you're all impressed.